Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. The chase for the cup begins here this evening. I'm Carmen alongside me, Kevin Young, as always, to kick off the championship hunt for the first time in this competition. We're at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 1.5 mile track. It's the home of stock car racing. And as time continues to tick down and elapse, Kevin, this track, it's synonymous with racing, it's synonymous with stock car racing, but it's changed so much in terms of how it handles, in terms of how these cars are able to attack this track. What are these drivers looking forward to tonight?
Well, it's going to be an interesting experience. It's not going to be the most handful that these drivers had to deal with in the race weeks and recent on the whole calendar. So there is that they can at least look forward to in that regard. But it's still going to be a bit tricky with a car that likes to spin itself out for fun. So you're going to have to be fast in the corners, make sure you keep the thing nice and planted, and still try to find as much speed as you can in and out of the corners. But it's very much like all the other 1.5 mile overs we've went to. Very fast, very aggressive, and 1 to 2 lanes depending on where you feel comfortable with running the car.
You see information on your screen. 1.5 mile track, 76 degrees the air temp, 98 degrees the track temp. Not a bad temperature there on track. Should be in an optimal window. Not a lot of wind either. Means it should be more in the driver's hands here this evening as practice winds down. 2 weeks ago, we had Richmond. The last race of the season. Now the playoffs have officially begun. The chase for the cup has begun. 12 drivers get to reset.
Yeah,
as we get
12
into
drivers.
This.
Yep, 12 drivers have a reset, and they're going to have to be good, perfect. Some will have to be perfect. Others can be just good, but you're going to have to be dominant at the very least for the next 4 rounds. Charlotte, Phoenix, Darlington, and Homestead. If you want to be hoisting the championship at the 16th race, or if a driver gets good enough, maybe even the 15th race, and hoisting that championship at the end of this thing. And we know there's some heavy favorites coming into it already, kind of looking at the list. You got Emily Howe. She has been dominant in this machinery. So it seems like you could say, safe to say, that she could be definitely a good threat to win the championship. 14 points ahead of her second car in line, which is Lilac Zier, who's 14 back. Some other drivers worth noting: Christina Ryan, obviously the first ABN World Champion in the Champ Car side of things. She could definitely could find a playoff groove and a chase groove, if you will, to kind of find that next gear. Some other drivers, including John Hagan, did not win yet, but we saw him always be kind of the bridesmaid, if you will. Right now, top of the charts here, Charlotte could easily find a way, if things go well, maybe get that win and try to dig himself out of this hole early. He could easily be a threat as well.
While we're kind of covering this before we get into the qualifying portion of this broadcast, you'll see 2 different colors on the ticker, on the tower, on your screen on the left-hand side. Those marked in orange are in the playoffs. Those in red are not. Pretty simple there. If they're in orange, they are in championship contention at the moment. And obviously, 12 drivers in that conversation piece. Some not present tonight. I believe one of those drivers is the favorite, Emily Howe, who is not currently present as of right now.
Got time to join. We know it's always, we've seen some late joiners join, with qualifying being about 10 minutes, and that's going to be starting in about 46 seconds, so she has time to get in. But knowing in this series and knowing how it is, you don't want to leave things a chance and want to let points at the table, especially with being such a short chase. It's only 4 rounds. And even though she has a small points gap over Zier at 14 points, and then 30 to Caitlin Height, who we are focusing on right now in the 11, who is currently 30 points back, along with Christina Ryan. So it's easily to, if you don't show here tonight, you obviously make it a drought, or may not, but it's to a point where you're still going to leave a lot of points on the table that you just don't want to leave.
Obviously, so to kind of fill everyone in on the point system, this is following more of the 2006 point system, so the points can get out of hand pretty quickly. 180 points for a race win, 170, I think, for second place. Really kind of can skew the math around here a little bit, so again, to your point, especially with 11 cars currently on track right now, does put an emphasis on making sure you get the maximum points available every time you're on track. Qualifying beginning here in Charlotte. Cars getting on track immediately include the defending Champ Car World Champion, about to become a former world champion if Bruno Miranda has his way tomorrow night in Homestead, Miami. Training Paint's having a slight issue here, as Christina Ryan showing her Winstell paint, where she drives the number 4. So Christina Ryan on track at the moment. Just having some motorsports. First car on track, several on track with her now, including Callie Height, Lee Peltier Sharp, Philip Snipes, last race winner at Richmond 2 weeks ago, Bryce Osier, Caitlin Height, and John Hagan. Watching qualifying take place now. A little bit of latency there for Christina Ryan, who has provisional pole and will extend that 30.05. Fantastic stuff. Ryan on track at the moment. We'll pivot towards another playoff driver, Lilac Zier. Lilac Zier on track at the moment. Zier running laps here, seeing what that 89 car is supposed to be able to do. 11 cars have all set lap times. Caitlin Height just went top of the board, ahead of John Hagan. Christina Ryan down to 3rd. So Zier to pit lane. Peltier Sharp on track for second lap, I do believe.
So as the clock is about to strike just around 4 minutes here, every driver, for the most part, has taken a lap. Obviously, we see Peltier Sharp on screen. She has taken both her laps. She's now just running warm-up practice. Every car has elected to take a lap, excluding Zach McBride, still in the pit lane as we speak. Clock continues to fall here. 2 and some change to go. Looks like it's unlikely that Caitlin Height's time will be touched. It looks like she'll be rocking off from pole position here, unless we see Zach McBride. We take a last-minute stab at it, but time is cutting short for him to do that.
I think it was McBride maybe starting from the back of the field intentionally tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest thing out of all of this is that Emily Howe, regular season dominant fashion for the 83 car for Prismatic Motorsports, not present for tonight's race. That throws a lot of this up in the air.
Yeah. Looks like she was feeling a little bit ill or a little bit sick from what we've heard down the pipeline, so I hope she does get better if that is the case. And turn, hope we see her here next week, but it's going to be a big monkey wrench in the championship planning. Now, again, it's not impossible to make it back up if she has next good 3 rounds, but she's going to have to dig herself out of a big hole. And considering that she has done the most laps in the AdminBoxx Cup Series at about 2,500, next closest is Nicholas Presley for 2,400, it just shows that she's been very good at showing up consistently and finishing races on the lead lap and putting in a ton of laps. So it's going to be kind of a little bit of a shame not to see her tonight, but from her, for her disadvantage is going to be someone else's gain and could easily kind of close the gap up in the championship, or maybe even get a win if they haven't gotten a win yet. Some names like John Hagen come to mind, and maybe putting the fight for the next 3 weeks. Well, that is, we still got 37 seconds left in qualifying. So this is basically going to be our running order here. Caitlin Height will be running off from pole position, and John Hagen will join on the front row.
Peltier Sharp as she takes additional practice laps here.
Mm-hmm.
This should be right down everyone's wheelhouse. This is a track that everyone has for free. So everyone has like full access to this track all the time. Again, with the cooler temperatures here in mid-September, a little more friendly to those Goodyear tires as everything gets set and ready to go for this race. We have warm-up coming up here and then drivers meeting, so you're going to get a full ambiance of the track during that drivers meeting, so don't go anywhere. And then after this, 200 miles, 134 laps here at Charlotte will be the race distance.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, drivers meeting out of the way, and we are ready to go. Just a few more minutes left here in warm-up. It looks like a little over 2 minutes left in warm-up here as things continue to get ready to go here at Charlotte. Yep. Again, 134 laps, 200 miles tonight.
Yeah, it's going to get very spicy in a little bit here. Going to be quite fun to watch and see how these drivers handle these situations here. Again, not much probably wind in the air, but still, these cars can always be a bit of a handful. So you always got to keep yourself on your toes when driving these things.
It's going to be a wild race. Again, it's a track that everyone should have a level of familiarity with in terms of just where everything's at right now. Just with how this track is, obviously the setup's going to be a little bit more lenient too. Can run multiple lanes, as you're seeing right here with John Hagan and Philip Snipes.
Yeah, if every driver on iRacing, when they start their subscription or start racing on iRacing, always come to Charlotte in one way or the other. Either they come here for the Roval variation if you start in the Mazdas, or you come here if you're starting in the oval variations with streak stocks. You come in here for the oval itself. So it's something that's kind of hammered into you at a young iRacing age about how this track works and how it runs around.
Time ticking down here at Charlotte. Zero currently top of the board in lap times here in final practice. Then Gaiman, Snipes, Pressey, Saucier, Ryan, McBride, Hagan, Height, Acosta, and Sharp. Again, for those that are just tuning in, this is the beginning of the chase for the Cup here in ABN. Next 4 races for the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series will dictate a lot with how this season goes for some and who will be championship hoisting material once the season ends at Homestead. It's an all-out sprint to the finish as warm-up concludes and we get ready to fire into this race, the first of 4 in the chase for the Cup. Lap times gonna stop there, and now we'll get into it. 200 laps, 200 miles, I should say, 134 laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Again, it's the center of stock car racing here in the U.S. 1.5 mile quad oval with the double dog leg on the front straightaway. 77 degrees the air temp, 104 degrees the track temp. Again, still a far cry from the 120 we saw a few weeks ago. Very manageable wind between 2 and 5 miles an hour. Low humidity as well. Gonna make it a lot more forgiving on the drivers here tonight. The starting grid, pretty abbreviated in terms of who all is here, but of all the drivers that are here is a lot of championship players. Caitlin Height, John Hagan, Christina Ryan, Josh Gaiman, top 4. Philip Snipes, the race winner at Richmond 2 weeks ago, sits in row 3 alongside Nick Pressey. Bryce Saucier and Lily Paultier Sharp in row 4. Row 5 is Lilac Zier and Callie Height. Ruby Acosta and Zach McBride will make up the back of the field. But with 12 cars, easy to move their way forward, especially early on in tonight's race.
We're going to see 1 pace lap around here for the field.
Pretty well cut and dry. As everyone gets ready to go.
Again, with the points leader not here tonight, Emily Howe, it's a good chance for a lot of these drivers in the chase to make up some points on that lead, because if you were at the very end of the list, you're about 30, 34 points back. So it's a good chance to cut into the deficit, even overtake her in some situations, and then try to be consistently that good. So it's a good opportunity. Let's hope some drivers don't waste it.
Caitlin Height, the 11 car. John Hagan in the 52. We see them compete against each other on Monday night as well. And they share the front of the field here on Wednesday night to kick off the chase for the ABN Cup. Pace car will take the left-hand turn into pit lane. Green flag is in the air. And the ABN Charlotte 200 is underway. Caitlin Height in the wall.
That's not good. We have fewer accidents back with Sharp as well. Multiple cars.
Oh, no.
66 in the wall. That should be our first caution of the night.
And it will be. That is several cars involved. Callie Height involved. Lily Peltier Sharp. Caitlin Height involved.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately we're going to have to go through and look at that and how that came to be. A fourth of the field involved in that opening lap crash.
Including Callie Height, who's currently third in the standings, was on pole position. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It could have been a wheel spin situation. Oh, Caitlin Height, sorry. But anyway, we'll take a look here.
What happened to the 11 car of Caitlin Height?
Leans out right now as we speak. Oh, she got bogged down herself. No help. Just things spun on its own.
And then what happened between Peltier Sharp and Callie Height? Because it looks like Peltier Sharp clipped the AstroTurf. Oh, that's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Bouncing right off of, I think, Lilac Zier. That's a weird place to have wheel spin, too.
Mm-hmm.
Drivers just dropping it on the initial start.
We do also have another incident as well on the backstretch here. Gaiman, I think, got rear-ended while they were waiting for the pit stop here. Oh, on the backstretch. I think Pressy ran into Gaiman. So a very chaotic opening lap here. Yeah, we'll take a look here. You can see they're coming up to the pace car here. Everyone's slowing down. Oh, Pressy just kind of hits it himself and then gives the 61 a little tap, so.
And we saw this happen at Richmond. Drivers not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Saw it happen at Talladega, actually. That was an even bigger example of it.
I guess the one positive leaves game and very little damage, if any, to that 61, so luckily he'll be relatively okay in that comparison. Did not get sent to the shadow realm there. So Caitlin Height, Nicholas Presley, Lily Pelletier Sharp, Lilac Zier, and Callie Height all coming in here on the opening lap, all fixing damage from that opening lap melee or under the pace lap, caution laps there.
So opening lap melee.
Mm-hmm. And worth noting that car involved in that incident, the car that's currently in second in the standings, Lilac Zier, she was involved in that incident. Caitlin Height, third in the standings, involved in that incident.
Yeah.
Pelletier Sharp, not competing for a championship, but still looking possibly gets good finish top 10. She was also involved well. So very, and the 66 as well. So a lot of chase cars were involved in that opening incident. And I was saying in the pre-race, this is going to be a race where it's a good chance with Emily Howe not being able to hear tonight, good chance to capitalize, good chance to put a foot down and bring a statement win or a statement top 5 out. And now they're going to be coming back from behind the 8 ball with no fast repairs. If those things are really damaged, they're going to feel the effects throughout the whole rest of these 134 laps.
Be going back green with 130 laps to go in this race. Only 4 laps will be completed when we take the green flag again. It'll be John Hagan and Christina Ryan at the front of the field. Josh Gaiman, Philip Snipes in row 2. Bryce Saucier, Zach McBride in row number 3. John Hagen looking for his first win in the season. His first career ABN win, I should say, as a whole.
Yep, so close, so far, but you have to survive the next 130 laps as the pace car is going to pull off here. Green flag is out, and away we go again for restart number 2.
Took a lot cleaner that time through. However, now for those that didn't pit, those tires are ice cold. Let the tiptoe just a little bit. John Hagen will lead.
Christina Ryan in tow. Lap number 1, though, is going to go to John Hagen. Well, first lap of the green, I should say. Everyone fighting their footing for the most part in the top 5. You can see just in the back of that position 6, Saucier and McBride, 2 by 2. And then you can also see right now, Josh Gaiman under attack from Philip Snipes. Ooh, it looks like Ryan's going to have an opportunity here for the lead. She's going to clip the grass just a little bit there. She had a fender in. Sees an opportunity to take the lead here. She thinks she can get ahead of John Hagen. Door was left open. We'll see if she can succeed in that Kodiak machine.
Side by side there. As it's almost 3 wide for the behind. Callie Height, Ruby Acosta, and Lily Peltier Sharp are almost 3 wide.
Ryan's going to get the lead done there. So put the 80 machine to the lead.
Philip Snipes trying to play spoiler. As he sets the fast lap of the race, 30.3.
And he won last week too, so he's looking to be one of the few drivers have gone back-to-back here in ABN competition, nay, the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series as well. How many drivers have done that? Trying to put himself in those kind of elusive company.
He's doing a good job so far. Running the outside lane, trying to get some clean air to the nose of that car. Then pitching it to the right line on the exit. And he'll get to the inside of Hagen here. In the 3 and 4.
Here. Yep, we'll see if he can make it work here. Patience is going to pay off. Yeah, and he'll get second position. John Hagen going the wrong way early here.
Someone else moving their way forward. Bryce Saucier, the 07. Brand new paint schemes for Nick Presti Motorsports, the 07 and the 94. Looking phenomenal in those cars. Right now sitting 4th and 5th.
Yep. New paints can sometimes inspire confidence in drivers. So maybe rocking the new colors could help Nicholas Presti Motorsports get some good fortune here.
McBride trying to charge his way forward as well. Sitting there in the 6th position. He's already made half the field up after not qualifying. He started 12th and immediately started gaining spots there. Callie Height sitting in the 7th position. Looking for her first career top 5 in the series. Josh Gaiman has dropped down to the 8th position. Trying to find his footing early on. Ahead of Lilac Zier, Peltier Sharp, Ruby Acosta, and then Caitlin Height kind of hanging out on her own.
Again, we're seeing the short run advantage here, but now the question is with the long run, will some of these cars find their footing and really attack the long run? We've seen, especially throughout a lot of series as we've covered, that a car may be strong in the short run, but they burn their stuff up, they burn their tires up, and then next thing you know, they start falling through the field like a boat anchor, and then in turn allows other cars to capitalize. So it makes you wonder right now, Christine Ryan, obviously big gap right now, same thing with Philip Snipes, but is she going to have the tire wear to last to keep that gap consistently and keep the times up that she needs to in order to keep the lead? Obviously, time will tell on that one. But some of these cars may be electing to save here a little bit of their stuff to try to open up a book strategy, if you will.
Now Christina Ryan leads the way ahead of Philip Snipes. who joined midway through the season, was not going to be playoff eligible or chase eligible. Philip Snipes has emerged as a legit contender in this series. A phenomenal job by the 98 so far, trying to make his way forward ahead of John Hagen.
Yeah, if he is able with schedule obviously permitted, if he's able to show up for next season in the AdminBoxx Cup Series, he definitely will be a championship threat week in and week out. So he'll definitely be someone to keep an eye on. But right now, this is all just for pride, to see what he can do in this machinery and see if he can put up some good performance here and give himself some good momentum for a possible season 2.
Staying in third place, John Hagen, as now is entered a bit of the intermediate period here, a little bit further back. Teammates there for Queen's Design battling. That's the side-by-side battle we saw down the back straightaway. Everyone else trying to recuperate and regather. Obviously, Cali Hyde involved in that lap 1 incident. Same with Zier, Peltier, Sharp, and Caitlin Hyde. All 4 of those cars at the back of the field.
Everyone finding their footing, just getting in their own little things here, and you can see the battle of the Queensland Design cars, and you can also see just up the road there, I was just about to point it out, Zach McBride and Joshua Gaiman fighting hard, and Gaiman, we saw he was going the wrong way. Looks like he's found a little bit of that form, that 61. It looks like he wants to go up a spot here and try to get himself back in the top 5. He will almost clear the 47 there. Has to leave a little bit of space, so he's not fully clear, cannot slide up, but should get it off this corner here. Glide on up, and now he'll be back at P6. Next car up, not that far away, in that 94 in Nicholas Presti.
Side by side here, a little bit further down the order. This is a battle for 9th place, and Zier's going to get the advantage there over Cali Height. Again, both of them nursing their cars a little bit after that lap 1 situation. And Lilac just tagged the wall there entering turn 1.
Ooh.
But handling not going to be the greatest on those cars if they're still nursing any injuries to those cars. At the front, Philip Snipes still leads the way, and there's still a lot of cars technically in the range if something does go awry.
Yep. We saw it last week at Richmond, where a lot of top cars had mistakes or problems or issues. And not trying to discredit Philip Snipes, but Philip Snipes was able to ride the wave of momentum and was able to put himself in a good spot. He was battling Zier all night until eventually Snipes was able to pull out ahead and was able to grow the gap and in turn win the race. So it's about optimizing your mistakes and making sure you can get yourself in good spots to win. And right now, that top 3 is all pulling away from that second kind of pack of Saucier and the rest. So they're doing what they need to do to kind of keep this fight between themselves. But a car that looks like he's quite strong in range right now is Josh Gaiman, who's already got around Nicholas Presti for 5th and is looking to try to get in that top 4 spot.
Josh Gaiman making moves on Saucier there, just as Acosta's making a move on Presti. So Acosta going to try to move into 6th place there as Gaiman moves into 4th in the exact same corner.
Yep. And at the same point, I think Lilac Zier got around Zach McBride. So 3 moves, same corner for 3 different positions. And we got 3 new spots gained and 3's lost. And now it looks like Presti got a little bit out of groove there, way up the racing surface. And now he could be under attack here from Lilac Zier. But battle still not going away, though, between the battle for 5th with Ruby Acosta and Bryce Saucier, as Ruby looking to try to make it a 2 spots gained in 2 different laps, and she will clear Saucier, so put her up to 5th. So we'll cut back up here, the battle for 1, 2, 3 here, you could say, all still in a blanket, all kind of holding similar times. As last time by, the fastest in that pack was Christina Ryan with 31.71, John Hagen 31.74, and Philip Snipes with 31.86. We'll see this time by. Obviously, the draft is helping a little bit in John Hagen's case. Christina Ryan with a clearing as well. That looks like a slower lap for the 98. Could open door for John Hagen here to maybe get a move done if he can keep that pressure on.
Hagan definitely has the front of that car hooked up just a little bit more at the moment. Got through turn 2 just fine. Philip Snipes may not have a lot of choice, but other than to let him go. It sits side by side, and this is going to let Christina Ryan build a little more of a gap.
Yeah. Time and place. I think right now, Philip needs to kind of just let John Hagan go, let him reel down Christina Ryan a little bit, and kind of just stay in the coattails. It's not worth fighting, and now both you drag back. Now Christina Ryan's got a 2-second gap. They got to try to run down. So it's about kind of just minimizing mistakes or minimizing heartache, if you will. If obviously Christina starts pulling, if John Hagan's obviously not the good lead car, obviously if Philip can make the move around, obviously should. We'll come back here a little bit. This is Bryce Sosi we're currently watching right now, currently rocking in P6. He's got a little bit of distance to his teammate Nicholas Pressy in 7th there, who's under attack here from Lilac Zier, who's currently still 2nd in the point standings. Obviously that will change after tonight, but she is trying to carve up for the field after the opening lap incident, and right now it's kind of working, but we still got to worry that maybe there's some bit of ailing to that machine, but as she'll probably make this move successfully here for P number 7. Looks like that car is still dialing in at least a little bit.
A little bit looser out of turn 4, though. I'm seeing cars beginning to get a lot looser. Seeing that car step out a little bit on the exit of turn 4, the way that corner unloads, it unloads a lot sharper than 1 and 2. So drivers beginning to have to deal with handling issues in these cars. And some will say that's sort of where the cars get the most fun.
I feel like Emily Howe definitely would agree with that statement if she was here. I think right now she's telegraphically agreeing. But I wonder if John Hagan, as we see Christina Ryan here rocking away in the lead, I wonder if John Hagan may have saved some of his stuff to make this a little bit more manageable when the tires begin to fall off, because we saw him go back a little bit. Now he's charging like the tires are a little bit more fresher than Christina Ryan, and that time alone he was about similar times to Christina Ryan, but now in the draft, we'll see how it rocks out. Zach McBride's making a pit stop here on lap 27. We know he likes to pit early, as we've seen it countless weeks, and just wants to be more comfortable than be on the edge and more likely to spin out. It will be a 4-tire pit stop for Zach McBride, and he is now away.
Hagan reeling in Ryan there in that battle for the lead. Snipes sitting not far away from that. Josh Gaiman on his own little island. Same with the 40 of Ruby Acosta. Saucier in front of Lilac Zier. Lilac Zier trying to move up another spot. Beginning to chip away at times here.
Every point matters.
Almost treat this race almost like a pseudo throwback race with some of the throwback schemes or the wind still schemes on these cars. Lilac Zier, a throwback to the, I believe, Brett Bodine.
Yeah, Brett Bodine.
And if I remember correctly, that's Brett Bodine, because Jeff Bodine was in a different car. Christina Ryan in the 4 Kodak machine. I believe that was last driven by
Mike Skinner.
Yeah, Mike Skinner after he left RCR.
Yep, Mike Skinner, and then they switched sponsors, and then it went to Ward Burton when he drove for McClure. But they had a different sponsor for Ward Burton in that case after he went to Gene Haas. But anyway, though, we'll reminisce on the history later. We got a pass here for the lead as John Hagan wants to go to the point again. Was on the front row to start this race, led a couple laps, fell a little bit back. Now looks like he is going to try to get around Christina Ryan. He's going to lead the lap, and he should be able to clear Ryan here, get on up, and that's going to be a pass for the lead on lap 31. John Hagan back to the front.
Nicholas Pressy in pit lane here, and he is in trouble. Spin and contact with the inside wall for the 94 of Nick Pressy.
We saw that under pace laps where the thing kicked the other direction, so maybe that car isn't as comfortable braking as well. I also saw it while I was rewinding. Kelly Height also got loose off of 4 as well, but she kept it saved. So looks like it's going to be a bit of a tricky pit lane if you're not too careful. If you don't feel confident on the braking, it could kick out. And we've seen a couple times throughout the races we watched where people have kind of locked it up going in the pit lane and have had a speeding penalty, or have had the thing kick out uncontrollably and in turn had to reap the problems with that. One more car worth noting on this front is Josh Gaiman right now. He's currently caught back up kind of this pack. He's 1.74 back to the leader right now, and he is slowly reeling this pack in. He's got that clean track, and he's going to catch Philip Snipes in a little bit here at the rate he's going, but that 61 seems to be on rails at the moment, and he's making up that deficit he had after kind of falling back a little bit down the P8.
Yeah, Josh came 100%, showing that he is a long-run threat. Lost a lot of spots early, as you mentioned there, but has gained just about all of it back up.
Yep, So's here going to be coming in this time by in the 07, so we are entering the window, it seems. But fortune favors the ones that go the longer, at the very least, because I have fresh tires on the next stint. But risk of an undercut if a car elects to pit. So it makes me wonder in this top 4 here, who is going to be the first to blink first here and elect to pit? We know some of them are more prone in the long run, but I feel like maybe Philip Snipes will try the undercut, or maybe even Christina Ryan. She's holding station with John Hagen, so I don't think she'd be as willing to try it. But it looks as actually my point was wrong. Josh Gaiman is going to be the first to blink, and he's going to come on in and try to go for that undercut. Sharp going to be also pitting in. John Hagen coming in this time by. Christina Ryan going to follow suit here. See if also Philip Snipes elects to follow suit. Ruby Acosta. It looks like everyone is making the mad dash for the pit lane here. Do not want to make a mistake. It looks like both cars, all three, will get off successfully. All get on the brakes in time, including Ruby Acosta, who gets a little loose in the background, but she'll save it. So everyone coming on in here, everyone making their stops. And that will be the rest of the field. So everyone has made their first pit stops of the race.
Caitlin Height going a little bit longer. At this point, I think trying to just get those bonus points for leading a lap.
See, she pitted on lap 2 after the opening lap caution, so she should be in the next 1 or 2 laps, but obviously electing to take get a bonus lap led here, and now she'll be coming on in this time by. And now the question is, where will this John Hagen cycle out here? He'll cycle out at least in the lead for the moment, but can the 61 keep the gap close here? He'll come out with no competition, but the 61 will jump the 98. So Josh Gaiman now up to 3rd with the undercut.
Zach McBride with that early pit stop to the front of the field. With Caitlin Height pitting now, Zach McBride will take over the race lead.
Only downside obviously is he'll get that bonus point. He is in the championship hunt, so every point matters. That will help him out. The only downside is now with that tire disadvantage at the very least, as it's going to become worse and worse and worse as the run goes on. He's probably going to get caught sooner rather than later, but at the very least, gets to lead a couple laps here at Charlotte. So right now at the moment, the top 5 is McBride, Hagen, Ryan, Gaiman, Snipes. Top 5. John Hagen was able to cycle out in the P2 and keep his position with no threat of the undercut. But Zach McBride inherits the lead by pitting early, and he'll lead another lap here. But at the rate they're going, it looks like second and third place should at the very least catch McBride in a bit. But if they keep fighting, it looks like Christina Ryan may have a better short run car here. Wants to take advantage of this. She may bend something here if she can get the opportunity to. But John Hagen going to make that car a little bit wider and make it a bit harder for Christine Ryan to get around.
They try reeling in Zach McBride. Josh Gaiman not far behind either. Trying to reel everyone in.
And Again, John Hagen kind of leaning as we saw John Hagen a bit of not as good a short run car here. He is catching Zach McBride, but you can see kind of holding up Christina Ryan a bit, allowing Gaiman and Snipes to both kind of reel in here a little bit. So kind of Hagen is just kind of waiting it out here, kind of waiting for the run to go a bit longer here, and then he can kind of let the horsies run. But he's going to have to make a move here on McBride as they're going to catch Zach McBride here for the race lead. And obviously Hagen does not want to stay too long behind this 47 if he cannot help it, as it can affect his air wash and also in turn make it a bit harder to go around. Looks like he'll try to get done through the trial, but here McBride going to make it a bit wide. Hagen not going to probably 2-3, but it's a battle for the lead. McBride not going to let it up easily, and he'll get around. Christine Ryan will follow suit. John Hagen will slot back. Zach McBride will slot in the third here for the moment. But Josh Gaiman going to make a move here as well.
Yeah, see, that helped Josh Gaiman a ton get back into this fight.
Yep. Also, same thing with Philip Snipes as well.
Yeah.
So, top four kind of re-energized here. Caught up. And Trenton's fighting also allowed Ruby Cost to kind of reel in this pack a little bit, but she's still 3.5 back at the moment.
Top four now nose to tail.
Mm-hmm.
Sail into turn 3 and 4. Christina Ryan gets so much energy on the entry to turn 3. I've seen it a couple times now. She's almost had to get off the gas to avoid running into John Hagen there. And now she's got the ability to look into turn 1 and 2. Side by side they go.
Yep, she's using that, how she backs up the corner, goes in aggressively. Now she can get swung around here. She'll get it done. So John Hagen going to slot back into second at the moment. Can Hagen have an answer back here? You can also see there as well, battle for third. Snipes is going to make a move on. Yeah, saw an opportunity to get it. He'll drive in deep, and he'll get it to stick. So put Philip Snipes to third. Josh Gaiman going to fall back to fourth here. As they're getting very racy here. Gaiman's going to try to keep a nose on the outside here.
Ooh, very
Still
close.
side by side. Mm-hmm.
And Gaiman's going to have to let that go and get regrouped there. Being that far up the track, not going to be helpful.
And it's an interesting situation where we got the cars in second and fourth. They're good at long run, while Christina Ryan and Philip Snipes are a little bit better in the short run. Now, that's not discrediting Christina Ryan. She was holding up with John Hagen to the end of that pit stop window, but we've seen Hagen was just a bit faster as the run went on. Same thing with Josh Gaiman. So we're going to see how this all plays out, as it's going to be... It's just elements of different cars and how they handle, but right now, all nose to tail. And Philip Snipes wants to try to get around John Hagen here. He's going to have a chance to. He's poking. He's peeking. Will he be able to send it here on that 52?
Yeah, he will.
He will. Come in very aggressively. Catch John Hagen a bit napping. Runs him up the surface just a tad. Respectfully a tad. And Philip Snipes will go up to second.
What a battle these four are putting on right now. And again, the more that these four battle, the more better it gets for Ruby Acosta.
Yep.
And we'll pivot down a little bit to another battle going on here. McBride lost him another position to Lilac Zero, sitting in 6th now. And so McBride's early pit stop not paying dividends later in this run, but we know that he'll be coming in at some point around lap 52.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just got to hold on.
Yeah. Kind of listening to the radio comms there, worth noting that even Christine Ryan was saying that how bad the 52 was backing up the corners there, almost ran in, like how you're kind of hinting at Carmen, is how she was almost ran into the back of the 52 with the momentum she had, so...
Well, it was very noticeable that she was having to back off the throttle because of how much momentum she was getting on that 52 car. Just how she drives the corner versus how Hagen does. Hagen backs up a little bit on the entry and then gets it on the exit, whereas Christina Ryan very much sends it further in on the corner on the entry, and then typically you can make up on the exit. Having been able to race against her a whole bunch, obviously in my career, you kind of learn how to race some people, and this is one of those tracks quintessential for Christina as far as just how she drives. You can sort of start telegraphing where her moves are going to end up being as this battle for second place heating up once again. Hagen trying to take that spot back.
Guess the green light came up here for Hagen. Seems like it's go time. He wants to go and now get on the attack again. And similar to what we saw in the first run, he got around the 98 of Snipes, and now he's going to try to reel in that 80 machine and take back the lead. Lost it around lap 4 or 5, got it back on lap 50 here. He lost it not too long ago, less of a deficit because he was able to kind of keep that lead for longer. But now, green light special for that 52. Question is, can he reel back in that 80?
Magical question that we're going to find out here very shortly. The ebb and flow of this race firmly underway. Next round of pit stops happening about lap 70 for the leaders.
Yep. 70, then 100, 105, and then one that should be hopefully enough to get these cars to the end. But if you want to get comfortably in, you want to get as as far past 100 as you can. Will get you more and more comfortably to making it to the end. Obviously, the closer you get to, if you hit exactly 100, you may have to save at least a little to ensure that car successfully makes it to the finish. Obviously, one car right now on the alternate strategy of maybe have to do one extra stop is Zach McBride, who pitted early, so pitted on lap 26 to be exact. Everyone else pitted on 34, 35, or 36, so everyone else on that strategy of making it on 2 more stops, while Zach McBride is looking for a 3-stop at the moment. A little bit back down, Sharp and McBride are fighting here for 7th, as Peltier Sharp is going to still be side by side with the 47, but now Sharp will get around.
And Sam McBride just falling down further and further. You look at lap times, Peltier Sharp's last lap was a full second faster as McBride's on those older tires by 9 laps. It's very evident who's got tires and who doesn't here at Charlotte.
It's the advantage of pitting early. Obviously, Zach McBride pitted for comfort. So he pitted, he was comfortable, he was able to put down good laps, take the lead. But obviously, the ill effect is that by the time your tires start to really cliff and really start to feel the ill effect, the cars around you will be on quite stronger rubber and still be in their peak performance. And in turn, you'll eat the ill effects of that. But battle for the lead here. Hagan could get a good run here. Has a chance. The door is still open here at the moment. Christina Ryan not going to be able to come down now. John Hagan going to get the run. They're going to be side by side going in the 1. Still side by side here. Hagan could not get the run he needed to clear. Question is, will Hagan elect to stay in the corner here, drive it deeper? Or will he back down? It looks like he'll stay side by side at the moment. But it feels like he's going to have to get a good run off the corner here, or he's going to have to kind of just regroup it. A little puff of smoke. There's Zach McBride in the pit lane right now, speaking of him. But the lead's going to be switched, and it's going to be John Hagan leading at the line and just clears himself over Christina Ryan there. So John Hagan will take back the lead. Similar to kind of we saw in the first run, long run pace favors the 52, short run pace favors the 80, but Christina Ryan not going to allow that JCR Designs machine to get too far up the road here.
Now the ebb and flow begins again. Christina Ryan having to adjust how she runs. Got a little bit loose there as a result out of turn 4. Again, their number that they're trying to hit is lap 70. If they can get past 67, then that'll be a decent shout for one more pit stop race.
Yep, considering they went to lap 34, obviously the caution did help that though.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the first full green flag run, so we'll see where they can get that number.
You also have to imagine how much of that was covering up an undercut and how much that was actually pitting for fuel.
Yep, because Gaiman came in first by 1 lap, and then the rest of the field came in. But it should be worth knowing that Ruby Acosta, Laxier, Lily Peltier, came in along with Callie Haswell, all came in a succession, and they weren't in that battle for the undercut to work on them. They were behind Josh Gaiman. So they probably hit their window, but with the top half, it does make you wonder if there was a cover-off here. But I feel like with everyone coming in, it may have been more strategy and a happy accident than a cover-off. But we'll see if that proves. Right now, though, John Hagan set a blistering lap last time by, 10th faster this time by. We'll see where the lap time puts him again. That time by, still faster than Christina Ryan. And he's also, in turn, faster than 3rd and 4th right now. It's Josh Gaiman. He's pulled a 2.5 second gap on Josh Gaiman, who got around Philip Snipes for 3rd, by the way. So now Josh Gaiman going to try to reel in, like we saw in stint number 1, try to reel in these top 2 here if he can. Speaking of, the 52 should also is going to catch lap traffic here at the very least in the next couple laps. As you can see on the little mini map there, the 07 and the 94, both Nicholas Presley E-Motorsports machines, are curling just up the road here for the 52, and could be a bit of a thorn in the side. We'll see how it is. But actually, we're gonna have a pit stop here. 98 coming on in here, bit early.
Interesting.
Yeah. It went 35 last time here, only on 60. That's only good for 25 laps, so that 98 is not on pace to make it on one more stop. Looks like it's going to be a 2-stop stretch for him at the moment, unless he finds that extra time. Unless he just really felt like those tires were shot and he needs to try something different.
He gets around McBride. Caution's out.
Caution is out. Looks like it's for the 18. And 16 is going to be right around there.
11. Oh, no.
Yep. Oh, hopefully they get slowed down here because they're still in the middle of the track right now. The leaders are coming, but they get down enough.
Everyone makes their way through.
Yep. So Philip Snipes cannot avoid going 1 down there, so
but he should be free pass recipient, I do believe.
Yep, because Callie Height was obviously just put a lap down along with Sharp, and Caitlin Height, sorry, we both put a lap down there, and yeah, so he would be the recipient of free pass.
So here's what happened between Caitlin Height and Lily Pelletier Sharp.
Battling for position.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
There's not a lot of good things to that. And that wasn't a great angle because it looks like there could have been a movement there between Caitlin and Lily Pelletier Sharp.
I think Pelletier Sharp's onboard, we'll get a third look at this with 4th. I think her onboard may give us the best understanding of what happened, but it looks like Sharp's going low here.
That's difficult because Caitlin's already moving.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll kind of break down this rule here real quick. And obviously this is a violent crash. So let's back it up here a little bit. So Caitlin Height starts moving. So the rule is you can make a proactive block, you cannot make a reactive block because of stuff like this. Caitlin starts moving beforehand. And you're going to see that because Caitlin starts moving below that hash mark. The hash marks help out a lot here in the situation. Caitlin already begins moving. Lily tries to make a more sudden movement, but Caitlin doesn't stop moving in this situation. And then obviously Lily just kind of runs right to the back of Height. And both of them go for a wild tumble. That's difficult because Caitlin, that's not a reactive block. Caitlin starts moving first.
Yes.
So that's a difficult piece of limbo that the Director of Quality Control is going to have to look at after this race. I think the thing that I personally find silly here, obviously they're going to start moving here. Caitlin Height showing her displeasure towards Pelletier Sharp. That's uncalled for.
That's a no-no. And we know from what we've seen throughout the series, Caitlin Height is always someone that will let you know how she feels. And if you think you're in the wrong, she's very vocal about it. So yeah, that's a no-no. You're not supposed to retaliate, or at the very least, on an active racetrack like that, especially when cars are coming. So it's going to be, regardless, it's not us to pass judgment here. It's up to the Director of Race Competition to elect how to rule that. But so the 98 didn't actually get the free pass. He's going to get the wave run. You can see right there ahead. So
yeah, he was on pit lane. I would imagine because he was on pit lane at the time.
So both
So we think it should be Zach McBride then. Maybe. Unless it was no, Nick Pressey did.
Yeah,
Presley was free pass.
Oh, yeah, correct, because Presley was in 8th, and he was 1 down, so yep.
Yeah, Pressey got the lead lap. So Pressey got free pass. Philip Snipes will get wave around here. As will, I believe, Zach McBride. He'll get one of those laps back here.
Yep.
So.
Should be worth noting that was carrying down the pipeline. That was a scheduled stop for the 98. Trying to play a bit of strategy.
This puts everyone in an interesting scenario because now I don't think one stop's enough.
Well, it's interesting because we saw under the opening lap caution, you were able to make it a 34 here. Obviously, we don't know when the pit stop was going to occur. We saw the 98 pit on lap 25, and then the cautions had come out. We could say maybe somewhere between 25 and 34. We'll say 30 on average. If we can assume they can make 34 laps here, even 33, that will get you to 100. And then, though, the problem is that that's going to bring you 4 to 5 short. So I think you're right, Carmen. I don't think they can hit it. They need probably one more caution to be able to make a one-stop strategy work. Like an early caution here or a caution right around lap 100 to make this work. If they go green free the rest of this race, the likelihood of them being able to make it is not high in the range, unless they can find a way to stretch it a little higher and make that tank go a little bit further on that last stint. And I feel like someone may be daring enough to try it. Someone maybe like Zier, for instance, having an okay race, a little bit further back in the pack, hasn't really now got a chance to recycle here higher up. We'll see what she can do. Kelly Height, Ruby Acosta, fast machines, but not really in this lead pack. We'll see if they can hang around, obviously, but if they can't, then it could be worth exploring an opportunity to maybe try something aggressive, maybe roll the dice, see what you can do. But I think that top 3, unless we get another caution, they'll be conversing down pit lane at least a time after what was supposed to be the final stop. So 2 more stops for at least the top 3, in my opinion.
Definitely puts a wrench in plans because now it's a lot less straightforward. You know there's a second pit stop coming. Is it a splash and dash, or do you cut this stanza in half?
That's going to be an interesting choice.
It's very interesting, and there's a lot of flexibility now. Just a matter of what you decide to take here. Pace car pull off onto pit lane. It's Hagen, Ryan, Gaiman, and Zier top 4. Second restart of the night. Here we go. Green flag is back in the air. And a phenomenal restart for Hagen.
Yep, we saw that on the second restart of the night. We saw he was able to get quite clear. But now the short run problems are going to probably persist a little bit here. See in the back there, a little bit of some fighting for position here. Zier and Hasta. Zier is going to get ahead, but everyone else is getting single file here. One of the questions to note as well is how quickly can the 98 get up through the field here? Currently in P9 at the moment, 2.81 back. He's going to have to try to carve up quickly if he wants to join this lead pack, but right now, Gaiman getting hounded by Zier and Ruby Acosta.
Yeah, Gaiman we know has a long run car.
LT Sharp back in the pit lane for more damage to repair for that 18 machine. Yeah, Zier, remember, was second in the point standings tonight. Looking to get a good run here, maybe even win. Will definitely help her out in the championship fight.
This is a matter of who's going to end up with the points lead after tonight, because everyone in this top 4 is going to pass Emily Howe.
Correct.
It's just a matter of who's going to go where in this battle, and everybody in the top 6 are in the chase.
Yes.
So it is a big deal right now. On lap 70.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that will really kind of help in some point is the points in question, because remember, Zier obviously had a lot of bonus points, a lot of extra things ahead, so she had more of a cushion, along with Christina Ryan being with that 30 points back, John Hagen being 34. So in turn, it's gonna be with the points being such different in jostling, it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. What Snipes, Philip Snipes already up to 7th position, making a move for 6. He's about to be in this front pack right now. Because of Hagen backing up the corners like we saw during the first and the second stint, he's really trained them up, and this is played to the advantage of Philip Snipes, who's now back up to 7th. But Christina Ryan going to take a move for the lead of the race here. She senses a chance here. She wants to get around this 52, who's doing this kind of a little bit on purpose
to the outside lane. Holy cow.
She made it work.
And look at that battle further behind.
They are getting racy behind John Hagen here. Hagen has caused a cluster, and they are getting like a hornet's nest kicked. They're making things happen here aggressively. And now Hagen's got to cover it off here, and now Josh Gaiman sees like, all right, I saw what Christina Ryan could do. I'm going to try to get around it myself. Can't get it done, though.
That is so wild to me. That outside lane move, and Philip Snipes doing the exact same thing in traffic to the outside of Zier.
Hey, go where they are not.
Absolutely. He's going to do it again in turns 3 and 4. It gets a lot more volatile in this side of the track. Is it going to work for him? It might.
Ooh.
He's side by side with Gaiman. That was close.
Yep, and now Hagen's going to cover it off here. He's not going to pick the lane he feels comfortable in. Does he go high? He shouldn't go high here. He's going to stay low, probably where he feels comfortable in the middle groove.
My goodness, that run out of turns 1 and 2. Philip Snipes has a run for the race lead.
He thinks he can get it.
Oh, I think he's got it. Oh my goodness, that run at the top. Everyone was so conservative running the bottom game, and I was like, okay, I want a piece of the top now.
Yeah, he saw that. I saw a game when Christina Ryan went around. He thought about it, then he tucked back in line. Then it's like once it's a fluke, second it's a coincidence. Like second, it's got more evidence. And now seeing Philip Snipes make that move, Josh Gaiman's like, okay, bet I can make this work. I'll do it too. And now he'll jump back low. So John Hagen, we know he likes to back it up the short run here, but he's just allowed 3 of his strongest competitors to get around here.
Yeah.
He's staying close, though, so it's not the end of the world, but he's making it harder and harder and harder from his more cars he's got to try to reel back in here. Now Zier going to be on the inside now, so putting the pressure on that 52.
Yeah.
He likes to save his stuff. He likes to go longer in the run, but I feel like he's getting forced into a position he may not be comfortable in, getting swarmed this badly.
You know, the saying is always, once is an occurrence, twice is a coincidence, 3 times a trend. Well, and check all of those off the checklist. And loose car for Christina Ryan. Those are right back into the path of Josh Gaiman. Just a little bit looser on entry to turn 3. And to allow Philip Snipes half a second of reprieve.
Yep. And again, he was 1 lap down about a handful of laps ago, obviously with the pit stop window. Got the free pass, was at the tail end of the line here. Now he's back up to the lead. He has made this opportunity work. He got this chance. He carved up quickly, and now he's taking the lead here. And now he's kind of running away. The only thing you could probably say right now is a bit of a problem with him is he's got a good short run car, not as good of a long run car. So he may be a little bit more prone to susceptible to being caught here as the run goes on.
But I think if everyone knows there's 2 stops in this race, I don't think anyone's saving. I think everyone's pretty well considered, like, the amount of race left, you're cutting into thirds. So you're not conserving nearly as much. And I think that's what's made that outside lane so viable. You're not saving in the slightest anymore.
The only, 100%. I think gloves are off, but the thing is, was Christina Ryan not? I don't know. You don't think anyone's saving, and I don't think that's the case either, but with how faster at the moment Philip Snipes is in comparison to Christina Ryan, Josh Gaiman, and John Hagen. Well, Christina Ryan is running a 31.58, while Philip Snipes is running a 31.25. But even the lap times in the pack, John Hagen at 31.31, Ruby Acosta 31.17, obviously with a little help with the draft. So they're all running-ish similar times. Oh, Ruby Acosta gets a little loose there. Luckily, she'll save it. Now going to be under pressure here from Zier. And she may be on a fret of losing this top 5.
This has been a wild race, how it's turned out. And it's been a competitive race throughout.
Yeah. You can honestly say that top 4 pack of cars have been nose to tail throughout most of this first run and second run. And now Josh Gaiman going to have, speaking of runs, going to have a run here on Christina Ryan. Door is open to make it happen. And he'll get clear a second. Also, I think the 98 just clipped the wall just a tad. Now John Hagan under threat here for losing 4th to Ruby Acosta.
Yeah, this has turned into bedlam in a hurry. And Acosta making that outside lane work. You got 2 trains of thought. Either run the outside lane, burn those tires up, or try to save something. And I don't think that saving right now is the smart play. I really don't.
I think Christine Ryan's in the book of saving here, as she has kind of been an open door. Same thing with John Hagan. Only thing is, I don't know if John Hagan's 100% in save or not, because we've seen him back up the corners early on runs. Whether that's just part of his strategy to kind of make sure the tires don't spin out himself, or it's element of saving, not understood yet. But Christina Ryan's definitely saving something here, as she is slowly falling back, and has not really been putting much up of a fight here. So Christina Ryan sees a number that I think she feels confident enough, I think, that she could do. And obviously we'll see here right now. She starts attacking the cars ahead. She may be two-stopping, and it may have been an element of just bad performance, or at least after the game had passed. So we'll see here. You can always tell kind of how they run and how they arrive to adversity.
Philip Snipes leading the way, but now under threat from Josh Gaiman. 50 laps to go next time by. Acosta making her way forward. There's a race win in grasp. Acosta showed up and showed out Monday night in the HTL Cup Series race at the Daytona Road Course. Doing the same thing here to kick off the ABN Chase for the Cup. Top 6 all in a line. Christina Ryan, the furthest one back, a second from the race lead. The furthest back she's been from the race lead all night long. Philip Snipes holding onto that outside lane like his life depends on it.
I think it may have he may have flew a little bit too close to the sun. I think that outside line's finally lost its momentum a bit. He's been flirting with danger with that wall too. Gaiman, though, we know he likes the inside. He's getting the run here through the corner.
If he has to check up, Acosta's there.
Inside, Gaiman gonna go here. And he will clear, so back up to the lead. Almost clears the 80, a little bit too aggressively. 80 in the wall. That's gonna open the door for Acosta. It's gonna open the door for Hagan as well to sneak on through here. Hagan not clearable yet. He will now clear. So 2 cars get around there in 1 pass. Zier gonna follow suit, and Christine Ryan to the high side worked out. Now it looks like it may have ended up running out of its magic, as 98's gonna fall back here to P6. So just in a lap there, goes from the lead down to 6th.
Question now becomes, when do they pit for fresh tires? You know it's gonna happen at some point. Hagan trying to make the outside work there, running the middle lane against Acosta.
The earliest we've seen pit stops for tires is lap 25 and 26. So looking at in respective, that would be right around this window right now. 87, 88. Acosta on the apron. Acosta spinning. Acosta around.
And that's a caution.
And that's a caution.
Third one of the night.
And now that's going to be interesting.
It's still a 2-stop race, but now it's even more clear-cut 2-stop race.
Yeah. Because you can't stay, because obviously this is the caution I was alluding to. If they could have got it, it could maybe extend the window enough. But the problem is, if everyone pits, then you pit on a green flag, you lose 2 laps. There's no benefit in that strategy to make a one-stop work. So everyone going to come on in, and everyone to come on in one more time. So it's now kind of confirmed it's a 2-stop place, unless everyone stays out.
Wild stuff here. I believe Zach McBride will be the free pass recipient.
Yeah, he pitted Actually, he did not pit. He was just one down already. So he'll now be back in the lead lap, and that will give us 10 cars on the lead lap.
Caitlin Height will be the next car.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, multiple laps down, 16 laps down for Caitlin Height at the moment.
Peltier Sharp is still in the session, but currently still on the damaged clock. Trying to fix the machine up to 11 minutes so far. So we may see her come back out, but again, she would also be multiple laps down in regard. Looks like a strategy call here from at least some here. Race off the pit lane. It's going to be Gaiman, Hagen, Zier, Ryan, Snipes, Saucier, Pressy, Acosta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like Kelly Height's taking some damage repair.
Yep.
She'll come out 9th. Quick pit stop, though, for the boys in the 52s pit camp there. 14.55, fastest of all the cars there. But good enough to get him back to second, but actually, yeah, well, actually won the race off pit road. My mistake. So yeah, that fast pit stop was able to get Hagen back to the lead here, which is probably not what a lot of these cars want to see, knowing how he takes the runs to start. But now, with it kind of being more clear cut and dry, you take it 89, you go 25, 30 laps to about 120, around the 120 lap range, and then take the last 14. Does Hagen still back it up here? Is he backing it up out of necessity, or is he backing it up to try to save stuff?
I think strategy isn't even, I don't think you go the full extent. I think you cut it. I think you cut it a little bit closer, because we'll be going green with about 40 laps to go. You cut it like 21 laps down the scene.
Fair.
I think that's the game plan there. You want to maximize both sets of tires. You don't want to. If you spend too long on one set, you'll lose time, and then you risk not having enough time to make it back up. Because remember, there's no green white checkers in the series. You don't get any free chances if there's a late caution.
Nope.
So you don't want to give yourself too little time to make something back up, especially with how much of a hornet's nest we've already seen. It's going to be a lot more difficult making your way around the traffic this time now, with how close everyone has become. Before, everyone was sort of managing their stuff at different rates. Now everyone's sort of in the same hustle mode, and that's a lot easier to sort of calculate. Just assume that everyone's in the same bucket. Which is not going to be, it's obviously a lot more fun, but it's a lot more difficult to plan for. You can't just map out how quickly you can get back to the front in that situation here. Caitlin Height will get the free pass or get a wave round, so she will stay 16 laps down. She won't drop another lap here. But yeah, I think the game plan would be maximize both sets of tires, come in like 21, 22 laps on that set, and just right down the middle. You want to kind of make that pretty well clear there, and that way you're not running the full window and putting yourself really under serious threat, because those last 14 laps, either on that lap, either on this set of tires right now or at the end of the race, are going to be vital. You don't want to. You can't afford to drop a second a lap.
No, you can't. They're getting bunched up here. We are going to get the green flag this time by Hagen, Gaiman, Zier, Ryan, Snipes, Saucier, Presley, Height, Acosta, McBride. Top 10.
It's been an electric race so far. 3 cautions, numerous lead changes. Been a lot of fun so far. John Hagen, Josh Gaiman, Lilac Zier, Christina Ryan, Philip Snipes, top 5. As the pace car pulls into pit lane. Into the trial will we go. Green flag will fly, and away we go. And a monster restart for Josh Gaiman.
Yeah, Gaiman needed that. Getting clear here is quite an advantage.
Now he can dictate a little bit of the pace.
Force Hagen into having to be more aggressive here. Speaking of cars, we know can be aggressive as well. Alex Zier, remember, finished second last week at Richmond. Opening lap incident for her in that 89. And now, up to the top 3 here. She's taking advantage of this second wind. Picks up the car, get it through while some other cars end up being claimed. She's taking the second chance, running with it, trying to get up the second here.
Philip Snipes in that 98, trying to make that outside lane work once again. Christina Ryan ahead of him. Chase drivers 1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as 6th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, and 11th. The first race in the ABN chase for the Cup. Josh Gaiman has a good run at it. John Hagen in second, still looking for his first career win in ABN. Josh Gaiman looking for his 12th. Sear moves to the outside lane. Trying to defend from Christina Ryan, that battle for third. The 2 throwback cars to the 2004 season, Zier in the 11, the Brett Bodine throwback, Christina Ryan in the 4, and how it looks on track. They're the 89 to the 80 on the timer. There goes Philip Snipes to the battle for 4th. Christina Ryan moves to the outside lane, far outside lane, trying to get a good run out of turns 3 and 4. It's in your back pocket, but it won't work this time. Snipes to 4th.
The thing is, we saw that outside line work aggressively early on, but the downside obviously was it cooked the tires. But if you cut it in half, you can really take that if you feel confident.
I think it's about how comfortable it feels being up in that lane. Some drivers just may not find it comfortable being up there. As fast as it is, it may just be a handful, especially in 3 and 4 here. It's always been the trouble spot here on this side of the racetrack as Snipes and Zier go side by side for third. A little bit of contact there. Snipes has third at the line. Galen's loving this. Hagen's okay with it. The more that they battle. Gaiman and Hagen, top of the field. Hagen under threat from Snipes now. Seeing from far above. Here is Charlotte. Snipes in range on the 52 of John Hagen.
Up the lap 100 here next time by. One pit stop still in the works for all the field here. They're gonna have to come down at least one more time. Whoever wins this race, they are a chase eligible driver, including obviously Philip Snipes. Good chance they will walk away with the points lead, or will actually walk away with the points lead most likely.
Yeah, this is 100% for the points lead in the first round of the ABN Chase for the Cup. 4 races to determine a champion. These 12 have spent all season long getting to this point. Now the playoff to become champion really begins. Phil Snipes trying to play spoiler. 2 weeks ago at Richmond, chasing down that 52 of John Hagen, 61 of Josh Gaiman just up ahead, the 80 of Christina Ryan, I should say. Just a little bit behind this.
It looks like Hagen, we know he has a good long run car. Looks like he's finding some of that pace here at the moment. Snipes as well. Fight strong here. Now the question I really wonder is you're going to cut halfway. the advantage of the undercuts a little bit more potent here. Makes me wonder if someone's more willing to try it as we get closer in the window. Now, obviously, downside tires would be very shot by the end of it, but if you can blink first, especially with the field so bundled up, you could take the lead, and maybe you can just hold it if you do it right.
Josh Gammon back under threat from Hagen. Hagen's reeled him back in. This has been a quintessential race.
Yeah. Opening last minute looked like it may have been a bit more of a pandemonium race, but it is ironed out. It's shaped up. It's been quite fun. We're going to see probably one of those good old Charlotte finishes. See how it plays out here.
Hagen trying to get some inroads there on Gammon. Really good look here this lap through. Hagen's going to have to go to the outside, though. Gammon's been very quick to cover up that inside lane.
She knows this is bread and butter, same with Hagen.
Oh, Hagen got a really good run there. Really good run there.
Going for it.
Yeah, he put his nose there. Make sure he got there before Gammon moved for it.
Hagen's just going to have to be patient. As long as he holds that inside, he should be able to kind of chip away at it.
Gammon ran a little bit wider there on that exit of 4. Holds on to the lead across the line. Is that how we see this race finish with 30 laps to go?
Still a long way to go here. Hagen still there on the inside. Looks like he's not going to get as good of a run there. Looks like he may have to back out of it and try to
got
regroup.
Loose.
Yep.
Still got the momentum out of that corner, but that's how sketchy it is. It is not going to get any easier either.
Nope. As these tires wear, it's not going to get... It's going to become less and less fun and less able to save that. Battle for third there, just in the foreground now. Christina Ryan wants it back for third.
I think she's going to get it back here. Snipes ran really high up the racetrack. Christina Ryan just kind of keeping the throttle pin there on the exit of 2.
Gammon got loose again. Hagen's going to re-go for it. He wait?
Gammon, that's going to be difficult because Hagen never really was there.
No, it was late because Gammon got loose. Hagen got the run off of it and just thought about the last second to go for it.
Yeah.
So now the question is, if Gammon gets loose again off 2, again, it could play to Hagen's advantage here. If he can get the momentum, he's well side by side here. He's going to come up. He'll get it done just barely, but now Gammon's going to have a chance to answer back if he wants. But he's not going to. Hagen's going to come low. Zier's gotten around Snipes for 4th, so Snipes now currently still in the top 5, but going the wrong way. But right now we're focused on this battle here for the lead and could be the race win at the moment. Obviously one more pit stop and an error on pit road could decipher who holds out. Now we know this is something, as we get close to that window, this is something we know. Gammon, he undercut the first stint by 1 lap. But I want to finish the point here is Emily Howe, even though she's not here, she's a master of finding time on pit entry and getting it low down just to the tight point to ensure that she gets the quickest pit stop or shortest time traveling to her box that she can, save as much time as she can. And that's really what this top 2 is going to come down to between Hagen and Gammon. And let's not count Ryan, Zier, Snipes as well, as they're just a little bit in the distance here, 1.5 back respectively for those 3, as Zier's actually making a move here for 3rd. But it's going to be how aggressively you can be entering pit lane.
Ooh, that was close. Zier got loose, drove in really deep there in 3 and 4. And almost lost it.
Yeah. Went hard there, but couldn't save it. Zier, though, going to try to stay around here. They kind of just finished my point, though. How aggressive you want to be? Christina Ryan coming in this time by 25 to go. She thinks it's good time to go, and she's coming on in. We saw that's as long as tires go before they really start to lose their life. Christina Ryan's doing it. Saucier as well, coming in as well. And Gammon late call for Gammon. No call from Gammon. Gammon just going to come on in, so Hagen's going to have to cover that off here next time by.
Yeah, Gammon had the positioning there that Hagen didn't have. And not ideal for Hagen. Obviously, I think everyone's going to be coming in this time that didn't.
Yep. 52 coming in, 89. Ruby Acosta, 98, all coming in. Let's see what the one-lap advantage here can do on the undercut. Again, this is where I said time gained is going to be very important. Who can get in the pit lane the quickest and the aggressiveness. And the 61 already away, has already left his box.
Two-tire stop. Two-tire stop. Very important there. Two-tire stop compared to the four-tire stop of Ryan and Pressey. McBride and Saucer, all four-tire stops. Zier stayed out.
Yep.
See if they come in this time. Zier, Snipes, and Height. Galley Height all stayed out.
If Hagen does not take two, he will lose the lead, but he'll have hopefully the advantage longer in the run, obviously with the tires. Zier coming in. Snipe, yep, 4 tires to both Zier, Hagen and Acosta. Zier in, Snipes keeps the lead, I should say. And you can just see the 2-tire difference right there. Already, Hagen's out of his box. Gaiman already around here. Now Gaiman's just thinking he can make 20 laps work here with 2 tires.
He was looking for clean real estate.
Which is important. If Gosh were to come out, he would automatically take the lead regardless.
Yeah.
Man, that is a big gap.
So you're leading pit lane now. Another 4-tire stop as well for the 89. There's Zier leading pit lane, and that is a gaggle of cars going by. Should have the tire advantage, but that's a lot of time to give up. Snipes still leads. I think he's going to try to go as long as he can. I think now he's kind of painted his picture a little bit here.
I think the one thing that's really going to help Gaiman in this situation is John Hagen's really take some laps to get going. And he doesn't really have that time to really... Obviously, he still holds distance, but he doesn't really hit that peak performance until the run goes longer, around the 25, 30 lap mark where we saw him pulling away. So right now, Hagen is going to have to go aggressively quick here to try to get around. He's not even still a couple seconds behind the 98, and the 61's already gapped 2-3 seconds on that. So I think this 2-strategy call could work. The only thing that really hurt it, if a caution were to come out, game would be a sitting duck.
Hagen and Ryan nose to tail as they catch up to the race leader, Philip Snipes. Kelly Height took a 2-tire stop. Will still be in 9th place. Did not help her at all.
So Hagen should this time buy and along with Ryan get around that 98 machine.
He's not going to make that difficult for them at all. He knows he's not racing them.
Showing respect just in case the situation obviously flips the other side around. You do not want to be in a situation where you know this person holds up, because then you won't get the same respect if you're in that same situation.
Ruby Acosta in 6th place, just outside the top 5 at the moment, waiting for Snipes to make a pit stop as Pressey goes around. Snipes to unlap himself.
So right now, the mission statement's clear. Right now, if you're Hagen and Ryan, you got to make up.
Yeah, you got to catch
5 seconds to get the game in.
Yeah, you got to catch Hagen. You got to catch Gaiman at all costs now. And right now, they're able to do so. They're running half a second faster.
Yes.
Still.
They're making the numbers they need to hit. And we know Hagen, he's going to, as this run goes on, he'll get faster and faster and faster.
Racing its time is what we're watching right now. And Nick Pressey not far out of range either.
Looking at this top 5, you got, again, assuming when Philip Snipes comes in, he's not going to factor in this equation. But you got Josh Gaiman, 1 at Motegi, looking to start the playoffs off with a 2nd win here. You got John Hagen, bridesmaid, never the bride, looking for his first win in any ABN competition. Christina Ryan, obviously a world champion of the series, is only 1 win so far in this calendar year in the Champ Car Series. That was the preseason ABN 100, the shootout, I should say, points paying race. And Nicholas Presley came so close at Bristol. You could say the underdog of ABN, looking to try to get this win as well. 5 cars within a shout here, trying to win it. And as these laps tick by, it's going to be interesting to see if this gaggle of cars here with Hagen, Ryan, Presley, Acosta even a little bit further back, if they can get to Gaiman within the remaining 16 laps. There's Philip Snipes, got his first win last week at Richmond. Not going to win here today. There's not playoff driver. It's just going for wins or good finishes.
Josh Gaiman, 3 seconds the gap now. They are chewing into that gap. Lap difference last time by for Gaiman, 31.4. For Hagen, 30.9. For Christina Ryan, 30.9. That is a half a second gap still. Every lap that they're eating away.
Yeah,
they are chewing it up.
I don't hate the call Gaiman did, but it looks like at the moment it's going to run just he did it too long.
Just too much lap. Yeah, there's too much time left on the clock there.
Oh, he's around. He's lost it. And that's going to be, he got in contact with a lap car. There he is. Going to trigger a caution.
I believe that was Caitlin Height. It would have been.
Yes, it would have. Now, I don't know if it was with a lap car, if he lost on his own. Not going to make assumptions, but I know he was trying to pass a lap car when it happened, or near a lap car.
I'm going to make sure here, because I thought he was already ahead of Caitlin Height there.
Yeah, he may have lost it. Yeah.
We'll see what happened here for Josh Gaiman. Was there? He just loses it. 100% he just loses it. Caitlin was not even close to him at that point.
Yeah, no effect. That was him losing on his own, those two
and
tires.
He loses it early, tries saving it, slides it again. Caitlin Height almost involved in it. That's how close she got to it, though.
That's why
she was trying to get through.
That's why I said I thought it may have been a lap car, because she was passing at the moment. But nope, that was all Gaiman.
And that changes everything.
Yeah. It's interesting. Everyone obviously coming in getting those fresh tires because Gaiman's actually going to kind of make out a bit like a bandit here because, you know, he did get involved in the caution. Obviously, Snipes actually on the lap, so Snipes is actually going to inherit the lead here.
Yeah, Snipes never went a lap down in that situation.
No, and he's going to have fresh tires. Obviously, he has to pit, so he will take the lead. We know he's got some good short-run pace. After that, Gaiman kind of makes out like a bandit here because even though he spun, he only lost one spot. Keeps his spot and train in position, so now Gaiman fresh tires. So weirdly enough, that's in an odd situation. Obviously, he didn't do it intentionally, but indirectly, iRacing giving him that caution with the iRacing cautions actually helped him out quite nicely. Saucier rolls the dice here, takes 2 tires, he'll come out second. Then it's Hagen, Gaiman, Ryan, Pressey, Zier, Acosta, McBride. Callie Height, more damage fixed for her, so she'll be coming out shortly. But this is interesting. So Snipes' call to go long actually worked out as he never went a lap down. He will take the lead. Then you got Saucier rolling the dice, 2 tires, trying to do what Gaiman did. It's going to be a tall ask, but he's going to try. And then Hagen, Gaiman, Ryan, 3 strong cars all night along, you could say, with Snipes. And try to hang on. Hagen.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. 2 tires. That's going to be interesting. Because the thing is, Saucier took 4 tires in that first stop, so this is where it could theoretically start working. This will be very interesting to see how this all pans out. This could be pandemonium in these last 11 laps or so. I believe we'll be going through with 10 to go. So, magic number.
Yep.
Obviously, for everyone tuning in and spending your Wednesday evening with us here on ABN, I'm Carmen alongside me, Kevin Young. The first race in the chase for the ABN Cup is tonight here at Charlotte. Next week, we move on to Phoenix Raceway. We'll be spending a lot of time in Phoenix next week on Wednesday and Thursday. Tomorrow night, it's ABN Champ Car action from Homestead. And Saturday and Sunday, it's ARCS action. The Saturday Night Showdown Series on Saturday, 9:45 p.m. And then the ARCS A Square Cup Series from Bristol on Sunday. A lot of stuff coming up here later on in the week. We get to find out if someone's playing spoiler or if someone's winning to kick off the chase for the cup in style. We'll have 10 laps to go in this restart. And you'll see Philip Snipes take the inside lane, Saucier to the outside lane. This is about to get wild.
Yes. Oh, usually you can say, oh, you got a feeling like Hagen's looked like the strong car. He's looked like the person that you could say has won, could win. But right now you got Snipes, who played the strategy well. He's now leading. We know he's got a great short run car. Got Gaiman, who we saw can bring it toe and toe. Augustine Ryan as well. And then you got Saucier, who, if things start getting kicked off, maybe he can get enough distance away and make those 2 tires work. This is gonna, like you said, this is gonna be a hectic final 11, 10 laps here.
I think it's gonna be very much of an understatement here for the last 10 laps. That is very much an understatement going into this. 10 cars all in the lead lap, 11 cars still running. Pelletier Sharp out after 67 laps. Caitlin Heights 15 laps down. At this point, just there to see the melee with 10 laps to go at the line. Philip Snipes won at Richmond, his first win in ABN competition 2 weeks ago. Saucier looking for his first win in ABN competition in 2023. Hagen looking for his first win, period. Josh Gaiman looking for his 12th win total. Christina Ryan in pursuit of a second world championship. The pace car pulls in. That's your top 5 in a nutshell. Entering the tri-oval, green flag is in the air. And we're underway once more. Keep an eye on the spinning tires. Everyone bogged down a little bit in some way, shape, or form.
That Gaiman got a little bogged down there by Saucier. Going to quickly go low. Saucier going to hang high. Hagen was basically pushing Snipes through the corner there, telling him, get going, get going.
Saucier
He wants round.
dropped down a little bit there.
Hagen going for the lead here.
Outside
Had to
lane
run
on
up the
cold
corner.
tires. I don't think that's where he wants to be right now. He needs to wait a couple laps to make it work. 9 to go. Reminder,
It's also
no
good.
green-white checkers. No overtime finishes in this series. If we see caution with less than 5 laps to go, that is the end of the race.
And that's a desperation there. I was about to say Hagen. Oh, Hagen's a little loose there. He needs to get around knowing, because look at this pack.
Look
It's
at
all
Gaiman.
bunched up. Yeah. He can't force it too aggressively or else he'll be the caution. But at the same point, he knows he just can't sit around here. At the very least, though, if he holds position, he'll probably take the points lead. But you want the win. He hasn't won yet so far in ABN nor the Champ Car Series. Not Champ Car Series, the ABN Cup Series. He wants this win bad. He's been the bridesmaid so many times. He had a chance at Richmond, got involved in an incident. He wants it. With 8 to go, though, he's got to try to find a way around that orange machine.
Yeah, Philip Snipes did not pit under that pit stop, got the track position out of it, but his tires are still fresh. His tires are within 2 laps of that of Hagen and Gaiman.
Should be worth noting, fastest lap last time by was Josh Gaiman. Purple lap time, I should put the boot. So he's got the fastest car out of the 3 at the moment. Last time by, though, fastest was Philip Snipes.
Here comes the accordion. Don't forget Christina Ryan, the 80 car, that Kodak machine, sitting in 4th place. Gonna have a chance if these 3 begin to squabble. Christina Ryan's gonna be there to pick up the pieces. Hagen in 2nd, Gaiman in 3rd. That's the battle for the championship lead. Snipes just has to hold them off for a 2nd career win.
Back to back, too.
A lot easier said than done with 6 laps to go. Wild stuff. Gaiman losing it a
good
little
run,
bit.
Hagen.
There's Hagen.
Door opened. Hagen sees it.
Snipes will give him very little room here.
You want it, you got to earn it. Hagen
Oh.
showing no respect from the opposite. Respect, but obviously 5 to go. You're not going to give much space. As much as you deem is safe.
And Snipes going to all reliable outside lane, trying to get the lead back.
Gaiman trying to pick a poison. Who does he follow?
I think he's going to pick Snipes. The Snipes got clear.
Gaiman, though, knows he likes his car on the low side. Hagen never went to the high side during that run where everyone was trying it.
Whoa!
Now he gets loose.
Hagen
He's
loose.
still loose. He'll still have a quarter panel there, though.
This is
Gaiman,
the point of
though-
no return. If a caution comes out now, the race ends.
Oh
3
my God,
wide.
the 3 wide.
3
And 3
wide. Snipes holds on to the race lead. Trouble behind. Acosta. And
Costa,
caution's
that's
out.
caution. Oh, that stinks. We were looking for a great finish, but
Oh, no.
Philip Snipes.
What happened
Yeah.
to Ruby Acosta? 3 to go at the line. Philip Snipes will hold on. John Hagen will take the points lead. Was there a chance they weren't going to make it back? Absolutely. But they were putting it all on the line. What happens here? Battle between Acosta and Zier. Zier in the Hooters machine, Acosta in the 40. Does Acosta just get loose? We'll go to a better camera angle here. Oh, yeah, she just gets loose, bobbles it.
And hits the inside wall, and that triggered iRacing's automatic caution.
Up until that point, outstanding stuff.
Caitlin Height gonna get her
Gonna get
lap
one
back
more
here.
lap back for good measure. We'll stay
It
in
doesn't
11th
mean
place.
much, but it's pride.
Philip Snipes will hold on to a second career win and second back-to-back after winning at Richmond. How about that to play spoiler? That is phenomenal stuff. 2 laps to go. Obviously ending this under caution. No green, white, checkered finishes in this series. Obviously conversations regarding planning for the next Cup Series season. For those that missed it on our social media, we announced a late model stock series beginning in November. The next Cup Series won't be until next spring, as we begin planning out the competition of the future. What do we want the stock car ladder to look like? It'll start in more grassroots ways. Late model stocks on short ovals. For some electric racing beginning November 1st. What a job for Philip Snipes. He had to hold off a lot of pressure.
And he played, again, he got helped out by that caution. He looked like he was dead to rights. I even said, like, he took himself out of contention to win by going, like, because of how it played out with the tires.
Yeah.
But he got himself back up. He held on. He held his nerve. And congratulations to him. He's done, not many drivers have done this, any ABN competition, going back to back. And he's just made it look like a cakewalk. Easily in that 98 machine. Not fighting for a championship, but fighting for pride and victories. And as we come to start the white flag lap here under caution, again, 98, he's gonna be happy with that easily. Hagen obviously had a strong car, was looking so close to win. So many times he's been second place.
Yeah.
So many times, cannot get it done tonight. And it's gonna probably sting a little bit more. But when he finally gets that win, it'll probably be that much sweeter. And Josh Gaiman, again, came from 8th back up to the front, was making it work, made the strategies work, had a 2-tire strategy, got, again, by his own caution, got saved, was able to get 4 tires, get one last run at it, will get a P3 for his troubles.
One more circuit around the Charlotte Motor Speedway under caution to end this race. Philip Snipes, second win in a row. Won at Richmond. Absolutely electric. Got post-race interviews coming up after this. We'll talk to the top 5. Obviously, a lot of opinions. The first race of the chase for the Cup here in ABN. And Philip Snipes. What a play! What a way to play spoiler. Absolutely wild. Up until this point, Philip Snipes had done 3 races. He was 1 of 3. A pretty phenomenal win average. Now he's 2 for 4. Talk about putting together a pretty interesting statistic. Philip Snipes will win this race. His second win. A little bit of congratulatory bumps there by John Hagen. As it looks like Christina Ryan will also do the same there and give a congratulatory bump there to the 98. Well, a well-earned fight. Was defending that race lead for his life. Once again, the second time in 3 weeks, that Tennessee Volunteers car will get to burn it down on the front straightaway. John Hagan, second, will take over the championship lead. As Philip Snipes burns it down, winning moment for the ABN Cup Series.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna try to burn up against the wall, I think, here.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have some fun with this.
Absolutely electric. What a job by Philip Snipes tonight. We'll hear from him here in just a second. We'll hear from all of our top 5 here momentarily. After a phenomenal job here tonight. That was an exciting race. That was edge of your seat sort of racing. Philip Snipes, the race winner.
Mm-hmm. I think the only downside is we wish to end under green, but that is sometimes how racing is. But still, great race route, tons of battles for the lead. Everyone should be proud of how it went for the most part.
Yeah, John Hagan takes the points lead by a mere 5 points here tonight. A phenomenal job. We'll hear from our race winner here in just a moment. Philip Snipes, 2-time race winner here in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. Philip, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
What a drive. What a defense there. Obviously, ending that race in the caution helped out a little bit there. But what turned out to be a phenomenal strategy call, paid off dividends. Walk us through, obviously, that decision-making there, and obviously trying to defend from a 3-wide situation with 2 amazingly quick drivers behind you.
Yeah, with the restart around lap 90, I was trying to figure out this strategy because I was always just burning the tires after 20 laps. So I was going to be the one of the people that pit halfway and then halfway that last stint and finish it off. But once everybody else started doing my strategy a little earlier than I wanted to, it was, all right, everybody else is playing for points. They're in the chase. I'm playing spoiler. Let's ride around and see if we can get a caution. And it just so happened that as soon as I pit, caution.
Obviously, that worked out dividends because you could afford to stay out at that point without losing a lot on your tire wear. How important was tire wear tonight? Obviously, we saw how important it was when everyone was chasing down Gaiman, but how important was it just those 2-lap different tires? How important was that, and how much did you have to be defensive on the get-go just to try to hold on to that?
Tire wear was really important, especially like the first couple of laps. You'd immediately lose 2 to 3 tenths. But I actually had fresh tires because as soon as I pit, the caution came out. So I had the advantage. Or I was on the same tires as everybody else.
It worked out phenomenally for you here tonight. Your second win in a row. Obviously, your second win in 4 starts. It gives you a 50% win rate here in the series in your 4 starts so far this season. You get to play spoiler here. You look at the races coming up. Obviously, you say you're coming in here running this for fun. It can't be much more fun than to win, especially in a battle like that. Phoenix up next week. Are you feeling that you can probably go 3 in a row? Does Phoenix kind of land in your wheelhouse as far as tracks that you excel at?
Yeah, coming into after the win at Richmond, looking at the last 4 races, Phoenix was the one I was looking forward to most. And going back to the battle with John and Joshua right there was amazing. Everybody in that top 4 or 5 was amazing battle throughout the night. We gave each other room. I messed up once, hit John. That was my fault. Apologize. But that last restart and those last laps were amazing with those 2 battling for the win.
It worked out wonders for you here this evening. Obviously, second win in a row after winning at Richmond 2 weeks ago. With 3 races left in the season, what a way to make your arrival in ABN in the Cup Series, getting 2 wins so quickly on in the season. Before we let you go and let you celebrate it, though, obviously a phenomenal night here for the 98 crew. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to Philip, the floor is yours. You did a phenomenal job tonight. Congratulations on that.
Thank you to ABN, and shout out to Emily Howe for putting this app together. And I wish you would not be sick or have technical issues so I can actually race with her for a win for once.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we wish Emily Howell the best in getting well soon. Obviously, we'd love to see the 98 and the 83 go at it here in a phenomenal duel here. Philip, again, enjoyed the race win. Your second in a row with Phoenix up in 7 days' time. Hopefully, we get to hear a lot more from that 98 crew here over the next week.
Yep, can't wait to get back at it in 7 days.
That was Philip Snipes, the race winner here tonight. We'll work down the list here. We'll start talking to those outside of the race winning position. We'll talk to John Hagan next, second place, and grab his sort of response here. Again, bridesmaid here for the ABN Cup Series, his fourth second place finish. John, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Obviously, second place, once again, not the race you were looking for here tonight. Obviously, you were one spot away again. Walk us through, obviously, that battle there at the end. Is there anything you could have done any differently there?
I'm absolutely gutted. More than Atlanta. That one, I lost on my own mistakes and my own doing. This one, none of that. The last half of the race, none of it was in my hands. And the last run, it was in my hands, and I was ready for it to go to 135 scheduled distance, but we never made it there. And I don't know. I don't know what I got to do different to win these things. Cause I felt like I was easily the best car on the track. No diss to anybody else in the field. I know everybody's a great driver. I felt like I had that skosh. I felt like I was going to take home that first checkered flag, but it is what it is. I was trying everything. You probably saw me step sideways good 3 or 4 times, trying to get the power down. But it is what it is. We move on. I think I'm first in the points.
Yes,
something
by
to
5
celebrate.
points. Yeah,
something to celebrate. So we'll take it with a grain of salt, and we'll go win this championship.
Obviously, a phenomenal job here. Obviously, tonight, second place. Obviously, not what you're looking forward to, but again, phenomenal pace in this race. If we kind of double down and look at the statistics here from tonight's race, believe you had the most laps led. No, yeah, you did have the most laps led. 37 laps tonight, the most of anybody in tonight's race. Obviously, that means a lot here. Obviously, at a race as competitive as Charlotte was, were you expecting it to be as competitive as it was? Because it seemed like there was a cluster of cars that were just super close all race long.
I saw what the top 3. I think it was me, Josh, Philip occasionally. Philip really liked that short run early in the race. Me, Philip, and Christina, what we had, and I changed the way I was driving very early on to match what they were doing, and it was working out. And the whole race it worked like that, and I wasn't necessarily surprised. They're all quality drivers. I mean, we learned last week at Richmond, Philip is a wheel man, and we always know what Josh and Christina can do. I guess I need that a little bit more.
Obviously, what matters right now is the championship, and you've got the lead there. Obviously, looking at the results here as we move on to Phoenix next week, how do you feel about going to Phoenix next week? And now you've got something to defend. Now you've got a points lead to look after here.
I'm excited for Phoenix. I actually dig that track a lot. We're gonna throw down top 5s after top 5s. Hopefully, some wins are mixed in there. So we're gonna do everything we can. You're gonna see me stepping that thing out, getting everything I can out of this car. And I hope y'all are looking forward to watching that for the rest of this chase.
Absolutely can't wait to see the championship battle coming up and what's going to ensue from that. Obviously, John, you did a phenomenal job tonight. Again, not the position you were looking for here tonight. It was so much on the line, but a second place finish and a points lead now for the first time in your career in ABN, a points leader. Before we let you go and let you get ready for next week's race at Phoenix, though, and obviously the next week's race next Monday at Homestead as well, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, John, the floor is yours. Again, congratulations on a phenomenal well-earned podium tonight.
I want to shout out Jacob Shangle Racing. Thank you, Jacob, for getting me in here once again. Really enjoying this place. Thank you to my beautiful girlfriend staying by me this whole time. Thank you to Stepstone and everybody out there on the track for racing me clean. And I hope y'all are ready to watch this show.
I think I can speak for a lot of people watching and everyone around the ABN sphere that we are definitely waiting to see how Phoenix goes next week. John, enjoy the podium, enjoy the points lead, and we'll be seeing you next week at Phoenix.
Thank you.
That was John Hagen, second place finisher here tonight. A phenomenal job for John Hagen as he finished tonight in P2. Josh Gaiman ended up finishing third place tonight. Again, not the result he was looking for. Both of them looking for that top spot. They'll have to settle for a podium instead here this evening.
Just like,
Josh, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
What a race. A phenomenal drive here tonight. Third place. It seemed like it was always unpredictable. Walk us through, obviously, where you were at on the track. It seemed like you had a better long-run car than anything else, but it definitely put all of 100% into it in that last little stanza.
Yeah, it's a shame that the caution came out when it did, but car felt good. I kind of had I was really good on the super short run, fall off in the middle, and then come back at the long run, and I just I ran out of time.
Obviously, this race, it seemed like pretty unpredictable. This race seemed like there was multiple lanes to run. People were running the outside of it at some point. How are you feeling, obviously, going in trying that outside lane, trying to make some passes happen, and was that a long-term viable strategy?
I want to say that it was. I hit it a few times, kind of just out of necessity, and I wouldn't say it's faster, but it was pretty consistent, and you could hit it pretty much every time, as long as you knew where your braking point was. But the bottom was definitely the place to be. If you could get it locked right down to the line without really going over it, that was just where you had to be at.
Obviously, Charlotte, not the obviously so close to a race win, but not exactly where you wanted to be here tonight. But the chase beginning, obviously, 3 races left in the championship. You're obviously, with how the points reset, you're now 7 points away from a championship lead. How do you feel going into Phoenix next week? Again, a very varied chase calendar here with Phoenix, Darlington, and Homestead coming up. How are you feeling going into those races?
I mean, 08 Phoenix is great in a lot of cars, and this just isn't one of them, in my opinion. There's probably a lot of people that like that combo. I don't, but Darlington and Homestead are probably my 2 favorite tracks with pretty much every car. I think everyone knows that I like Darlington a lot, even if other people say otherwise, but it's okay to be wrong. But yeah, those last 2 races are the ones that I'm looking at.
Well, you're going to have a lot to fight for here over the next 4 weeks. 3 races left here to determine a champion, and you are 7 points away from being in that points lead. A phenomenal job tonight. A phenomenal fight here for the top 4. Obviously finished 3rd place tonight. Before we let you go and let you get ready for what's going to be a very busy weekend for you, racing Saturday, racing Sunday, racing Monday, racing next Wednesday. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Josh, the floor is yours. Congratulations on the podium finish, and can't wait to see what the 61 car can bring for the championship fight.
Yeah, of course, I'll shout out everyone at Stepping Stone. Just pushing and moving forward every week and trying to do what we can to improve. Shout out 213 Simware, McConey Setup Shop, W Energy. For riding along and hopefully it doesn't stop here. Shout out to you. This series is put on some good racing. There's been some ups and downs, but for the most part, the ones that I've been here for have been really good. So yeah.
Well, it's always fun seeing the 61 car battling on track. I get to see it about 5 days a week at this point. You're always doing something, and it's a lot of fun watching that 61 car move around here. 3rd place tonight, Josh Gaiman. 4th place in the points, 7 points behind John Hagen, who has the points lead with 3 races to go in the season. Josh, obviously a lot busier for you this weekend. Hopefully we get to talk to you again this weekend, but if not, we will definitely see you next week at Phoenix.
Absolutely.
That was Josh Gaiman, 3rd place finisher here tonight after an electric finish, finishing their 3rd place behind Philip Snipes and John Hagen. That 3-way battle between those 2, or really between those 3, is going to be a highlight moment there for sure. Fourth place is Christina Ryan here in the race at Charlotte. Again, for Christina, again, it's a race a little bit of what if. Had the race lead, was up throughout the top 4 all race long. Third place in the points here, just 6 removed from the points lead. And a second world championship. Christina, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy.
Hi, Mom.
Obviously, fourth place finish. Gonna feel like a disappointment given how you were so competitive early on and given how that race finished. Walk us through how that race was for you, being able to obviously run just about every lane you wanted to, make past Sappin everywhere. Walk us through, obviously, your race there tonight.
I mean, I don't think it's a disappointment necessarily. We finished good. You know, we're still within touching distance where we didn't have a bad day, which I think was the thing to avoid, right? Because especially with how the start went, Emily not feeling well, there's already a lot of wild cards that if this was a normal day, you know, whatever, but everything was a little different. Led some laps, which is what I wanted to do. I genuinely felt like I had a chance at the end there. We were reeling them in. They were racing really hard, and you know, it's one of those deals. The yellow comes out for anything, and you know, it wasn't anything stupid. It was just a genuine racing deal. So I feel like it shouldn't have been a yellow since the car was so far off the racetrack, but that's the way it falls sometimes. I've been bailed out by that stuff before. It's just not quite been my year with the luck on the safety cars this time around, which is part of it. We had a strong day, did everything. You know, I from the start of practice all the way to the checkered flag, never once had to reset the car, not through the practice or warm-ups or quali. So basically ran the same chassis, never had any more than one spin. So, and that was in the practice. So strong day, really fun race. Really had something for them at the end, especially if they started wadding it up. We had a lot better tires, so that's why we held back a little bit towards the end there, just in case. Wanted to keep my distance, honestly, but just wasn't meant to be.
Obviously, we're in the chase for the cup now, and obviously you're already a world champion, looking to become a champion in 2 different disciplines here. Obviously, you're going to give the genuine answer of you don't think about it until it's there. Phoenix next week, though. It's a track that you've already won at in your career. How are you feeling going into the old version of Phoenix, and is that a race that you look forward to?
I guess. I mean, I don't think that the tracks that are coming up are really suited towards my style. Phoenix is fun, but I've never really been great there, and I'm really bad at Darlington. So I feel like with the way the season's been going, I'm not quite sure that we're going to have a chance to go for it on speed alone. But I mean, hell, you know, Emily not being here tonight really threw a big wrench in everything, because it's going to be really hard for her to recover since she didn't even score points. So with her on the back burner, it's going to be, everything's changed, right? And
yeah, everything's pretty wide open now, I would say.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm just as good, if not better, than Hagen and Gaiman on Phoenix and probably Homestead. We just haven't quite had things fall the way we needed to. Been playing a little bit conservative here and there, and we've been finishing strong all year, which is what's mattered. But and that's not a diss to either of them. They're very good, obviously. But it's just going to be a crapshoot, because so many random, unprecedented things happen, and you know, Phil's out here driving his butt off, as he should, to just win everything he can.
Yeah.
And Emily will be back, and she'll need to be driving like, if it even matters, she's just going to need to be driving like crazy. And everybody just wants to win with the reduced field sizes. It just gives you a lot more opportunities to be risky and not have as much of a blowback. So that gives us a lot of opportunities. But it just as easily as something takes Emily out could happen to me, you know? So who knows? I think my main plan is just enjoy the most out of it. I had a lot of fun tonight, and all my frustration at the end was just one of those, God, we were so close moments. So, yeah, I mean, I know I say it a lot, but I'm kind of just vibing. Whatever happens, happens, and you know, I got nothing to prove anymore, right? We won to kick off the season with the 100th race, and that was really cool, and already won a championship in ABN, so I've proved to myself I can do it, and I proved to everybody here that I can do it. So it's just kind of, we'll see what happens.
Well, obviously, a lot of fun watching that car tonight. Again, different colors. Got to see the Kodak car for the first time on these screens.
Yeah.
But obviously, a phenomenal drive nonetheless. Obviously, we get to have you in the booth with me on Mondays as well. But before I let you go and kind of let you enjoy the rest of your night and obviously the rest of your weekend coming up, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Chrissy, the floor is yours. Congrats on a phenomenal drive tonight. P4 and 5 points away from a championship lead.
Make it sound really nice there. Yeah, no, obviously shout out to Phil. He did a great job. We were exchanging a little bit of info in between the yellows and stuff. Obviously raced with him a lot in Winstall and was with him when we went to Atlanta. So great guy. Drove his freaking butt off about 8 times tonight to get that win. So congrats to him, and then good racing with John and Josh and Nick at some points as well. So congrats to them, and thanks to both Priz and Stepping Stone for just the support and stuff. And shout out to Emily. I'm sure it's not going to... You're in the other room, so maybe you can hear me. I don't know. I hope you feel better soon, hon. Thanks to you all for putting it on. And I don't know. Maybe we'll get a call up tonight and do some testing in an open wheeler, a certain Japanese open wheeler. But other than that, I'm just going to
High performance
crack
testing
open a
does
cold
sound
one
pretty
and
good,
chill.
doesn't it?
It does sound pretty good.
It sounds pretty good. We may be onto something. We'll
But
stay in
thanks
touch
to you
on
and
that one.
Kev for putting it on. Yeah.
Absolutely. Christina Ryan, 4th place finish tonight. Again, phenomenal drive there and a new look there. The Kodak machine. 4th place, Christina Ryan. Enjoy the podium or enjoy the 4th place finish. And hopefully we get to see you back on the podium here very shortly.
Yeah. Soon. I'll be hoisting that trophy, right?
You're in range, so good luck on it.
Yeah, let's go get it. I could use another one.
That's Christina Ryan, 4th place finish here tonight for the 2022 Open Wheel World Champion here in ABN, trying to make it a world championship in 2 different disciplines in open wheel and stock cars. She's got the talent to do it. See if she can get that luck in the final 3 races. One more person to talk to, and it is none other than Nicholas Pressey here tonight. We'll hear from him and how his race went. Again, it's a race of what if a little bit for him, but a 5th place finish after being so far away from the lead. Can't be too off the bat for that number 94 crew. Nick, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, Carmen, I do. How are you doing?
Pretty well. Obviously a phenomenal race here at Charlotte. 5th place for you. Puts you right in the championship thick of things. Walk us through, obviously, your race. It seemed like you were just missing a little bit of something extra there. Just walk us through how your race went, and obviously if there's anything you could have possibly done any different there tonight.
Yeah, could have chose a different brake bias. As soon as the incident on that one took place, I was braking for it. I didn't use a lot of pressure, but brake bias as low as I could get it, which was like 57, and unbeknownst to me, that was enough to just send it around. And it came back to bite me later too on the pit row, where I ended up going 60 coming onto the thing because the car just again looked around. Really, this first half of this race was a complete waste for me. Really should be doing better than that. Second half, I got to display a little bit more appropriately what I'm capable of, but by that point, the car's a little beat up. Charlotte's a pretty aerocentric track. By that point, I'm just short on something to the way there. I'm glad I was able to salvage 5th out of it. I was hoping for a little bit more, maybe get people at the front just bungle it up a little, but they put on a great race, great control, and as disappointing as it must have been for that to end under caution, as I can personally attest to, I don't think they should be ashamed for how they raced.
Obviously a phenomenal race tonight here. Legacy Phoenix up next week. How are you feeling going into that race? Obviously some people love it, some people don't. Where are you feeling going into next week and trying to maximize the potential that you've got here, sitting 5th place in points?
Hard to say. Phoenix has, as a strategic track, is very good for me. As a pace track, it is not. Fortunately, I've been putting in some practice this last few weeks with some of these tracks, which I'm deficient in the hopes that maybe I could change my fate a little. Fate's changed greatly going into the green flag tonight. Well, unfortunately, Emily too unwell to attend, so I do hope that she gets better, so that we can finish out the person basically run circles around this, sometimes literally. But if the practice I've been putting in can show through, I think I'll be okay.
Well, obviously, a good result tonight. 5th place here after struggling. Obviously, lap 1 having to sort of just maintain damage limitation from the opening lap here tonight. 5th place on the books here with Phoenix next week and Darlington in 3 weeks' time. Before I let you go and kind of let you get ready for those races coming up in advance, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Nick, the floor is yours. Not a bad result given the damage you got on lap 1 and the entire race you had to spend essentially catching up with the rest of the field tonight.
First off, thank you and the ABN crew for putting on such a wonderful show. It's we did our best with 12 cars, but it's been, I think people are gonna be satisfied with what they saw on the stream. I know I was. My friends, they like to watch these races. Hopefully I can. One of these races I'll have something really exciting to talk to them about afterwards. Maybe that'll be next week, or whatever. But thank them for watching. Teammate Bryce, he's always doing his best. Right? I think he's really starting to come into his own with this car. This isn't a track where I expected him to be too strong, but he did pretty well, and I think there's some real growth there. Other than that, I think I'm good.
Well, Nick, again, 5th place finish here tonight with Phoenix coming up here in 7 days' time. Good luck. Obviously, next week at Phoenix, we'll be able to talk to you again, maybe a couple spots higher up in the finishing order next weekend.
Thank you very much, Carmen.
That was Nick Pressey, our 5th place finisher here tonight, our last interview of the night. Here's a look at the finishing order as they run. Philip Snipes and John Hagan and Josh Gaiman rounding out the podium. A phenomenal race between those three. Christina Ryan just off of it. We heard from her how she thought she had something for them, just needed a little bit more time to get to them. Nick Pressey finished out the top 5, a good result for him after having to recover from lap number 1. Lilac Zero, Zach McBride, Callie Height, Bryce Sosa, Ruby Acosta rounding out the top 10 here. Ruby Acosta spinning there and drawing the last caution of the night. Unfortunately, unable to gain any spots there. 10th place will be how she ends this race. Caitlin Height, 14 laps down, but saw the checkered flag after an incident with Lily Peltier Sharp, who did not rejoin the race after that incident. Ended up 68 laps from the finish in this race. John Hagan is the points leader by a mere 5 points. Then it's Lilac Zero, Christina Ryan, Josh Gaiman, and Nick Pressey in the top 5 with 3 races to go in the race here tonight. The chase for the cup continues to go forward. Tomorrow night, ABN Cup Series action here at Homestead, Miami. The last part of the Triple Crown goes through Homestead, Miami. Then next week, it is Phoenix. Next week's ABN Cup Series race, 2008 Phoenix. Then the season finale for the Champ Car World Series at Modern Phoenix to end off that season. For everyone tuning in tonight, on behalf of everyone here for ABN, our partners AdminBoxx, E83 Flying Machines, Agent Inc., ARX, HTL, and everyone here on behalf of ABN Studios, Michael Commentator, Kevin Young, I'm Carmen Sienna. We're going to be rating our good friend Els Indriani over here in just a second. But until next time, we'll see you this weekend for Saturday Night Showdown action for ARX, and we'll see you at Bristol. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun this week coming up. We'll see you next time.